Balabi balungi nsonga za nnaku ez'okufiirwa Seeke Muzaata abadde akulira ddaawa oba bwe kiri muzeeyi.
Anti ddaawa means kuyita bakkiriza. That's why baafuna obuzibu mu constitution y'obusiraamu bwe bagenda mu kkooti baababuuza nti mufuti wa Uganda abeera ne sharia. Diguli ya sharia ndi equivalent endaawa. Ddaawa kwe kuyita abakkiriza evangelization ngaffe mu Christianity.
Omubuulizi w'enjiri.
Naye there are two striking things. Muzaata and Kalisa almost on the same day.
It is said that they died on the 4th.
Of 1 month.
They all died on the 4th.
Yes.
One died on the 4th of November.
What does it mean?
Another died on the 4th of December.
And they all belong to the Kibuli faction. And you see, Ugandans don't have time to think on life things. Look at the newspaper has been carrying out a malicious campaign against Muzaata, going to the extent of visiting even the area. We call it inoculation theory. Who told the book at the editor, one of the will be arrested, because several will be arrested. This in Uganda, in advanced countries, in Europe and America, newspapers go to prominent people like Muzaata and get their biography. So when somebody dies, you have already put some information on the computer. What changes is when is the date of your death. But this is not practical in Uganda. But in this man's death, Sheikh Muzaata, book a day, one day, book a day. New Vision Group will be investigated. I pray to God, nti kwabusenga ne kulubya bawangala ensebala muli bulungi nga basajja bakadde bati kulubya ku kijindalo nga bamulinnyo omutwe bamulinnyo ayogera abamulagiranga. Bukede prepared the nation. Bukede has been publishing articles, negative articles about Muzaata, how he treats his wife, how he deviates from his preaching. He preaches to couples, married couples. You remember, he was the chief preacher at Rema's wedding. But Bukede has been directing all of this, bringing interviews of his wife. This was not a divorce case. No, the man was sick. Kurubya, one day you pay. Because look,
the stories they were publishing were marriage when the man was sick.
Even last night, Bukede Radio had already made a preparation of stories, selected articles. What did was the Bukede managers visited by an angel to prepare? At the same time, they are talking about a man who is sick, who would have already been dead, about his marital problems. As if the battle is between a divorce case. Because such cases are written and published by newspapers when you are facing a divorce case. But they had already prepared.
The public.
In fact, Bukede is the only newspaper that has come with the Muzaata's story as a headline. Let write about me. They were writing about me when I was sick. I knew he was pretending as you. Hey, omwana wa Mirundi Akaabye no linjo batamu na batamu enyumu no tomo basajja na tomo busajja obubi. The public will realize that these are agents of killer.
Kino kyoyita inoculation.
Yes, to prepare the public.
So Bukedde was preparing the public.
Don't mourn Muzaata as a Kiralik, as a Kirini man. You see what he has been doing. Interviewing people. Doing what? And
talking on weddings.
Last night.
Portraying him as if he diverted from the real preaching.
Yes. Siti naye bali kukwatako busajja mmwe. Boketta jozi nsi najoga bujingo najogani olupapula olwo luligalwawo ne lwokebwa ensi nega nti waliwo olupapula lwe bayita Bukedde nga lujoga abantu. Toyinza kuddira Malice is not news. Malice cannot be news. Era bagambye Muzaata kitaawe Muzaata yava Tanzania ebyo gundi bye yamuvumanga ono mulenzi w'emmengo ono minisita wa Kabaka wa Butter Trade nange yoneregamu nemukuba nemwabyo tayinza kuneregamu oyo omulenzi bakatikiro ba Buganda babeera bwe bati nti gwe minisita wa Kabaka wa Butter Trade naffe n'ogitunda n'oleeta kyapa mu nnyuma. Do you remember that at one time these newspapers Bukedde naye olunaku lumu Bukedde kulubya ne Kabusinga mukubya abantu mutukubye ne mutuonoona kulubya noonoona abasajja abakulu noonoona buli muntu yenna Allah ajja kulamula kulubya Allah ajja kulamula kulubya Allah ali kulamula tuli basajja bakulu otukaabye Amaziga naye Allah ali kulamula kulubya yakuba nti nze ne Muzaata tinda land titles which we did not have
ezebyapa by'ekifere
Kiwalebe mazi waliwo omusajja gamuyita Kiwalebe mazi ng'agamba mutuyina ebyapa ne Muzaata kano ne kagamba kano kanyamando mbo simanyi gondi ekigeetwa Patagonia gwe oli Muganda gwe avuma Muzaata gwe kalenzi gwe oli Muganda. I did not have a land title.
Ebyapa bya lease.
Yes. That's why it is chapa mu nyuma. Mayiga lemo kipama up to today is in the toilet. Is suffering from constipation. Chapa mu nyuma. Nebagamba Muzaata Patagonia ani. Let me rekisha you. Because at time I lose my temper. Naye tujja kulema kukulubya ne Kabusinga nga babafumba mu pipa ng'akaloddo. Teri lupapula lw'amawulire mu nsi lubeyambisa kwonoona abantu nga New Vision ne Bukedde. Lady people is on Bukedde and New Vision, they are worse. Bajja kubukwata olunaku lumu babugatte amagulu. I'm telling you, you cannot use your newspaper to
malice
your
people.
Malice. Even about sick people. Even about who are you? Kuluvya, who are you? What type of newspaper is this? Kakati kugamba. We are bundled together. Then we are telling the people that we do not have a land title. I do not have a land title. That's why I almost strangled this man. I almost strangled this man.
Of NBS.
Why? He was insisting that I had a land title. I cannot have a land title. No, because it is I know that Elisa can give you 5 years of evaluation. Mengo is not a trusted institution. And in fact, if Mengo tries to evict us, tukuba ne Busembayo tukuba ne Kabaka ntumujjawo nti Abaganda atuwe emyaka namwenda oyo omwana baali bajja mu bomutwe bamutte. That's why he is quiet.
Era lwe lupapula lwe lumu lwe lwali mu issues zammwe nga bwe mwafuna ebyapa gwe ne Muzaata.
Naye kulubya aliragawa kulubya abaana babategekedde ki bazzukulu kuba kulubya tayinza tuga nti I'm being used. Why don't they use other newspapers? Lwaki kulubya beeyambisa gwe kulubya lwaki bakweyambisa? You cannot tell us that I was being used. No, we shall grab you like a grasshopper. One day we shall grab you like a grasshopper. But it is a point of no return. Mpozi ngotegeka kudduka oba to commit suicide. Kakati nkugamba nti in their program last night on Bukedde they insinuated that Muzaata originated from Tanzania. Stupidity and foolishness. At that time, they don't know Uganda. Uganda was an imperial power. Uganda had what we call ensemvujirizi. Okuvujirya means that where you get revenue. Okuvujirya means where you get money to sustain yourself. Kiziba, which is current Tanzania Kagera, salient, that's why Amin wanted to claim it, was under Uganda. Naivasha, up to Naivasha.
Kiziba yali party ya Buganda.
The role of the Baziba was to fatten Kabakazi fiancés. Baganda wanted bums. Abaganda bagala bubina. Bagala bakazi ba bubina. That's why any rich Muganda who died, who had cows, had to have a Muyima woman. Every rich Muganda, if we wanted to get fortune or Gagawala, because Muganda, Baganda, there's no Muganda who didn't have cows. No, the Baganda have proverbs which indicate that they realized the importance of cows long time ago. A Muganda says, Ompita Mugaga, Nina Virado Bianti. How can you say that I'm a rich man when I don't have cows? Which means rich men at that time had to have cows. A Muganda will tell you, Buliba Buebuti, Ginkagi Gulenti. A Muganda predicted that at any given moment in the future, you would use 40 shillings to buy a cow. 40 shillings was very big money.
60. Meaning 60 shillings.
Bayamisanga rupees. Bayamisanga rupia. Bayamisanga wafu. Wafu ejira bako. Kawafu wekati.
Naulia baga mabira mbasawo Baganda. Zinalima inchi tucha basawo Baganda.
Nga sente bazisiba mulwayi bwe bati zirimu ekituli. Bazisekamu ekituli for is a good protection. So a Muganda protected. A Muganda can tell you if you are suffering misfortunes on a daily basis. A Muganda tells you you are being bewitched by a Mulalo woman. Because how could you say that proverbs depend on people, interaction with the people? So Baganda knew cows. There are many proverbs that concern cows. So the role of the Baziba was to fatten Kabakazi fiancés, women who would marry in the future. Because Baganda believed, the Baganda believed that at any point, if you get a smaller woman, you can find yourself on the mattress, on the floor. So they wanted the huge people.
Yes.
And they have a nickname for smaller women. Yes. They have a very nickname for smaller women. That once you engage in sex with a smaller woman, you must make sure that they are comfortable. There is a mattress or a big mattress because you can easily pierce through. So this is why Baganda men were interested
in big bummed guys, ladies,
women. In fact, there was a famous song. Tereza webine dene wobakira ne bubira kumbaga wobakira wendaira Tereza mama webine dene. The song is about a big bummed woman. A big bummed woman. That even the church, even when you attend a church service, when you are big bummed, everybody you will attract.
Of course, you will attract attention.
So this is what the singer was talking about.
So these guys are talking about Kiziba in Tanzania, as Muzaata came from there.
Was part of Uganda. This is why the Baziba have a proverb. The Baziba will tell you that Abaganda munalalaha akaite yanjumba.
Meaning what?
It means that Njumba was the traditional king of Kiziba. But when the Baganda took over under Sapolo Kagwa believed in assimilation like the French. Those areas that joined the Uganda that were captured through conquest or through negotiation like a Kochi, joined the Uganda and they retained their traditional leaders. Kamuswaga. Isaba Nyala. Isaba Rule. These are not creations of Museveni. Sapolo Kagwa. The moment Sapolo Kagwa gave you protection, Uganda had the standing army, even Itoro was under the protection of Uganda. Busoga was under the protection of Uganda. That's why Bishop Hannington was killed. This is all of these vassal states were taken over due by Lugard, an agreement by Lugard. This is when they are building Uganda. This is when the Lugard agreement with Mwanga is when Uganda surrendered its vassal states, the territories.
So this bukedde cheap talk about Muzaata.
That is a Tanzanian.
That is a Tanzanian.
What about the head of the Rugave Kiran, Ndugwa Semakula? His father Kasepeo originated from Tanzania. I even hear the Semoga's father Kapiri. His mother is called Namwendero. These were Kiziba names, if I'm not mistaken. Why? They came with the missionaries because the Catholics originated from Tanzania. That's why
they came through Tanzania.
Yes, we had the matters in Uganda, the Catholic matters, but the first person to be ordained cardinal was Rugambwe, Tanzanian. Because the Germans had established Catholicism in Germany, in Tanzania, which was under Germany rule. This is why when Mwanga escaped from Uganda, entered Tanzania, a German territory, because Mwanga had signed an agreement with the Karl Peters, which put Uganda under German influence. This is why when you go to Germany, you will find a Uganda street. At one time, Uganda was under Germany rule. In fact, when you look at the German flag and ours, it's a question of
the colors and the arrangement of the colors and the repetition.
We have the same colors. So this is the influence of the German influence, of the Catholic influence.
I want to see the relationship between what these guys were saying.
Many people, the Baganda who were sent, to Tanzania, to Chiziba, identified the good people. They are servants. Nsibambi, Professor Nsibambi's family. They are not a traditional Baganda. Nsibambi's family came from Sicilies. With Mwanga, these are the people who...
I see their color. The way they are colored.
They came from Mwanga. Nsibambi was not a traditional Muganda. No. But his parents in the Sicilies had been identified by the colonial government to attend to Mwanga. So Mwanga is not back it to Uganda. But when his body was brought back to Uganda, and this is a tradition in Uganda's history, any Kabaka with a son name starting with the M dies in exile. Mwanga, Mutesa, I'm watching you closely about Mutesa.
It's not a tradition.
It's a tradition.
It's a coincidence. It's just coincidental.
Coincidence. But this, when you have for us Uganda, when you have
something happening repeatedly,
your family repeatedly, you must be cautious. So therefore, when you say that Muzaata's father was a Tanzanian,
as that program was alleging,
Bokede, editor, this man, Kurubia did not have, he had a very humble, that's why journalists who are poor are very vindictive. Because Kurubia, the editor of Bokede, had a very poor beginning, very poor foundation. He's a very vindictive to successful people. You don't look at history. What about Bishop Kagwa, retired Bishop of Masaka? His father was a Munyolo.
I see.
His father was a tailor in Kampala. A Munyolo.
So, Mr. Mirundi, you're trying to tell me that mentioning that people came from here or here or here does not matter here in Uganda.
We are not a tribe. Baganda, we are nationality.
I see.
In nationality, you live from tribe, a primitive level in social development, you reach a nation and a nation state. Baganda, we are nationality.
So what is the role of these people who are insinuating that Seka Muzaata came from Tanzania? And how does it help?
Kulibya toli Murundi. Nini kakuba abantu? Nikabakana katukuba katuonona. Koka Kabushenga avaawo. Kabushenga yali wakole. Nanti ngalo niyefuula munyankole. Tukalina na history. Nibaba ndebona. Bere bindi
etyambalu. Nafuka munyankole.
Poor families. Some, that's why I'm an arrogant man. I come from a rich family.
I see.
Average. My family was rich. My grandfather was a landlord.
Museveni, you have been a friend of Seka Muzaata. Yes. How was he in his life before death?
Seka Muzaata was a scholar.
You have been seen everywhere with him.
Seka Muzaata is a man. You see, a Muslim is different. A Muslim Muganda is different from a Christian Muganda. Christianity stresses obuyinza buva wa Katonda. Islam challenges you. What if the Kabaka today hosts Muslims and serves the pork? Will they accept it?
Of course they can't. The values of Islam do not accept pork.
Out of excitement, slaughters a chicken himself. The Muslims will reject it because it's a calf.
Of course.
So Muslims...
A Muslim Muganda is not like a Christian Muganda.
It's very aggressive. Muslims cannot, because Islam has what we call a dogma. But when you look at Christianity, Mutesa, the late Mutesa, grabbed a married woman from Mulira. Do you see this Mulira, the lawyer?
Yes.
Their uncle, Mulira, after 1955, the 90-member agreement, Mutesa became a constitutional monarch. But Mulira at that time was the most knowledgeable and the vocal man, was a journalist. He tried to explain to the public that a constitutional monarchy means the Kabaka is no longer political. The Kabaka has been divorced of politics. That the Kabaka, the power, the political power, is now vested in the Ruchiko and the Katikiro. Mutesa to prove that he really wielded the political power as opposed to what Mulira was saying. He organized a party in the Rubiri. Mulira he was invited to go with his wife. Mutesa grabbed Mulira's wife, officially married at Namirembe. Mulira went to court, but court told Mulira, the Kabaka is not suable. You sue Mutesa as an individual, but Mengo, but Namirembe, that had married Mulira officially, feared to condemn the Kabaka.
I see.
So a Christian church,
for
them, instead of maintaining the importance of marriage officially in the church,
to give it weight, that if you marry in church,
and because they could not confront
the king,
the Kabaka, politely or indirectly. Even the Pope was accused of not confronting Hitler, but he defended himself. Hitler, I was talking to him diplomatically, but the Namirembe church did not condemn Mutesa.
I see.
If Mutesa had grabbed the Muslim woman, the Muslim cleric Muzaata would have come up to condemn him.
Of course.
Yes, there was an incident where Mutesa visited a girls' secondary school in Kaliso, across the king, and it was his practice, like a Muswati, to grab beautiful younger girls. When he grabbed a younger beautiful girl from across the king, the then Archbishop of Kampala, Joseph Chiwanu, he intercepted his convoy.
I see.
And picked the woman from Mutesa's vehicle. Said, if you want to marry this daughter, marry her. After consultation with her parents.
I see.
At that time of Christianity. Do you expect Luanga to do this?
No, by now.
Luanga, who is an agent of men.
So I'm not sure about that.
Muzaata, Islam empowers Islamic clerics. Because for them they are guided the Quran.
So himself as Muzaata was a very empowered Islamic cleric.
Yes, cleric. Because Islam empowers you. Islam gives, unlike Jesus. Jesus was son of God, according to Christianity. But Jesus was very, very brief about heaven. The Muslims talk about heaven
in a very detailed format.
Prophet Muhammad went to heaven and he gives accountability who were there. And he talks about his encounter with God, although he does not describe with how God
looks like. And
it says how the people who dominate Jahannam. Jesus doesn't tell us. Therefore, the Islamic faith tells the Muslim how to conduct himself. Even when the Muslims will tell you, after 40 days, the neck separates from the other body. And sing kutukako. Who has this? Christianity does not have this. So the Islamic clerics. That's why they don't
are empowered by the religion.
Yes, they are empowered.
So it gives them freedom to talk about things that matter in society.
Because they don't go through somebody as Christians. A Muslim goes through Allah. They always refer to Allah, their Quran, their holy book. So it is a Muslim cleric, an educated man like Muzaata. For him, he refers to. And in fact, Muzaata, even the Chikuli faction where was spokesperson, feared him. Like the government fears me. Government fears me.
Are you serious?
Yes, they fear me. Why? Those people fear me because I'm eloquent, I'm knowledgeable, and I'm not intimidated.
Of course.
Yes. You've heard any BC people calling me. I will never go back.
They almost spoiled my program today.
I will never go back to any BS. I'm like a pig. I don't have reverse gears. If I want, I have a project. Nobody will ever see me on any BS. No. I will use other channels. Let me tell you, how many viewers do we have on our platform?
Of course, we have a following of 50,000 people every day for 24 hours.
Because it is clear, it's a weighing machine. How many viewers do watch the highest watched program on NBS?
Of course, the most watched programs on NBS were your programs when you are still
so
there.
Why do I go back to give money to NBS? It's very important. I am a pig. Nobody, even if God tells me I refuse.
God is supreme.
If my father
there's no way you can.
I refuse. Many people say, many people think that when the president tells me, I will go. I will never appear on NBS. I will never appear on top TV. I will never appear on top radio. Once I make a decision, it's like a woman. I offered you the first chance. You didn't realize my importance and the beauty. Can you come back? I will hammer them.
Of course.
Anytime I hear a person from NBS, I will give you an obscenity. I will shout to you obscenities. I don't want to hear any telephone call from NBS. Never. I know they and I have a project. I have a project, but I told these people, I will not go. You tell that's why they hired 2 people. Yeah, I know. I have a project which people want, a company wants. I told them to have Chris Obole. Me, I cannot go to NBS. I can go all of those stations that at one time switched off my programs. I will never go back. So please, NBS, if you're interested in this project, talk to Chris Obole, not me. I will never work with you again. The problem with people, the Ugandans is what they don't know, and the international community. And I said about it, that the international community must have a clear view, a clear picture of what is happening in Uganda.
Of course.
What is happening in Uganda is that is not the government, it's not Museveni. Museveni has gone through elections how many times? Museveni, at one time, many African leaders were opposed to multi-party. Museveni led the change to multi-partyism himself. Why do you celebrate Jesus? If Jesus was not killed, would he be talking about resurrection?
Of course not.
If Jesus died of old age, would we be talking about his resurrection?
No.
If Mwanga did not kill, they were so
They were Julies.
They were Julies. Would the people be praising the Julies?
Of course not.
So, I know Museveni does not believe in political assassination.
So you want to write about the reality
I've written
here in Uganda.
that the problem is that the international community and many Ugandans don't understand the factors at play. Bobiwine was identified, nurtured, watered by the mafia gang. Why? They thought that it was harmless. How can you say that a man is impotent? According, it depends on rumors. How?
Well, you can't use rumors.
Yes.
You need to see that the guy is impotent by yourself.
Say, let me call this man. After all, every woman is saying, what if it is a trick? If you want to have women, you say you are impotent.
Are you serious?
Everybody will come to grab your money.
Are you serious?
When you are not impotent. You can circulate a room against you, against yourself. So, what I'm telling you, Bobiwine, Museveni is not the one behind Bobiwine's treatment. But Bobiwine was brought by the mafias, thinking that Bobiwine would not attract crowds. That's why everybody, when you see...
But do you think, Mzee, we should question him over Bobiwine's mistreatment? Because his political utterances...
You are right.
Yes.
But there is a third force. When Bobiwine was picked by the mafia gang, he even is going to parliament was necessitated, was initiated by the mafia gang, who told the judge to nullify the election, to have Bobiwine in the by-election. Bobiwine went through the rehabilitation process, denounced marijuana smoking, tested negative. He offered himself, even married in church.
Of course.
Who was behind his rehabilitation? The intelligence was not aware.
Probably he's too wise to manage it himself.
Their problem was to replace Bobiwine with the Besigye. Besigye had been depending on money from the mafia gang. Why? If you have people, is a political science principle, if you have people who have stayed in the power for a long time, for instance 35 years, they cannot leave power by once. No. Political power is like a blanket. Once it is removed to you, you cover, you feel the coldness.
Of course.
We have, after Idi Amin, we had the civil war. We had the people agitating to break out from Uganda, West Bank front. Why? Idi Amin had gone. We were not given, we call it in the politics, social gradual socialization. People who have been in the power cannot lose it once.
All on the same day.
On the same day. This is why the Nigerians have made a good formula. When the president comes from the north, the vice president comes from the south. If after
the one of the north,
yes,
then we shall have the one of south.
Why? Because the government in Africa provides resources. This is why immediately Museveni appointed former Minister Vice President Adirisi, General Adirisi, as his advisor. He managed Adirisi, because of this appointment, convinced refugees who had run away from Uganda to Southern Sudan to flock back to Uganda. One appointment, one assurance. I'm telling you that why was Besigye not treated the same way
as
they are treating Bobiwine? Besigye's taking over of power. If Besigye succeeded Museveni, the bush of veterans would say is theirs. But Bobiwine is an intruder. Bobiwine does not have any links with the bush. His father never fought. Yes. Even you can see how they are doing.
But why should people keep Uganda at ransom because they fought?
No. Me, I'm a realist. I'm a realist. At one time in America, people would ask candidates, where were you during the Second World War? Where were you during the Vietnam War? So what I'm telling you, that the people, the way they treated the Besigye, the way they treated the earlier opponents is not the way they are treating Besigye. Bobiwine suffered an accident. He found a vehicle, an army vehicle, which they pretended that had developed mechanical problems, and it was taking firewood. Immediately it caused the accident, it drove off. It was perfect. One of my reporters died called Luwemba. In the accident, Samogere survived narrowly.
I see.
When Samogere was going to Kasese, he found a group of people clad in a deputy shirts, party shirts. He stopped to greet them. They almost killed him.
I see.
They were
just stage.
When Samogere went to Kasese to address the rally there, all the hotels in Kasese denied him accommodation. He was taken in a half-completed house, and the youth kept it there on the top, threatening him, shouting at him. This has never been done by Besigye. Whenever Besigye is arrested, he's swiftly released. Besigye is a man who secured release a bond court
on a treasonous charge.
Treasonable charges. Even Besigye fled the country, and it was claimed that Besigye had formed a guerrilla RPA that was fought by General Kayihura. Besigye has never lost a peak. Besigye's business functions well. Besigye petrol stations, even government vehicles.
So whether it is economic crippling, whether it is what crippling, Besigye has not had the same.
Bobiwine is facing 3 challenges. The first family had identified the successor to Museveni. This arrogant boy. The arrogant boy who thinks that man, he has a network, patriotism groups. So where? If people like the Mirundis, I can mobilize people more than you. You are depending on money. You are a woman whose beauty depends on the cosmetics.
I see.
Me, I don't have money. I don't have the resources, but I have the.
But you have the following.
The following. Then
the following matters more in politics.
In fact, let me tell you. I rang a Bobiwine's team to warn them against going to Kayunga. I knew that Bobiwine was going to be assassinated in Kayunga. The other day, I rang a Bobiwine's team and told them, if you think that it is Museveni, it's wrong. It's not Museveni. The mafia gang that had identified Bobiwine for a different role are now realizing that Bobiwine is a real threat.
I see.
This is why
they are no longer in charge.
Tumukunde gets the audacity in Arua of saying, leave politics to the generals.
I see.
The following day, this man is attacked in Kayunga. Who has the influence in Kayunga?
I don't know.
This new vision, the Kanagisi, allocated a headline to Tumukunde. Stop harassing. Tumukunde, a headline? Why should Tumukunde's statement
be given
a headline? Kanagisi. Tumukunde controls the media in Uganda. Even the media is working. Kanagisi is an agent of Tumukunde because Museveni does not control the media. This young man who thinks if so that he could control Uganda. Uganda is not a monarchy.
But I'm wondering, a national, what they call a government newspaper, why is it always attached to?
Everywhere in monarchs. How can a Muko, a son-in-law, succeed his father-in-law? You will never get it in your life. Kill me, they will kill you. But this is the bitter truth. That's why, because of their rivalry over power, emanating from the first family, the first family believes that it is a monarch. It is not a monarch.
I see.
Some first family members think it is money. It's not money. It's not money.
Hey, so there is a sect of them that think leadership in Uganda is a monarch.
By stealing, by undermining government projects.
I see.
We can easily incite the teachers. We can easily, if the president directed that all of the students, the families must get TV sets and radio sets. Where are they? 650 billion to be used to finance their campaigns.
I see.
2, you look what the pattern. Not everywhere where Bobiwine goes, they power tear gas.
Of course.
Power gas is powered selectively. Why?
We are also wondering.
Where because 80% of the MPs of people power of National
Unity Platform.
Yes.
Nope.
Are financed by the mafias. The mafias want to control parliament. This is why the mafias fear Kadaga. The mafias don't want Kadaga to come back to parliament. Why? The money they have stolen, the billion they have stolen in COVID, the billion they have stolen from education,
and locusts.
They fear $50 million was stolen from there. Museveni recently secured a loan from World Bank, $400 million for electricity supply.
After the first money was stolen,
$20 million was stolen from Kaluma.
I need to know, Mzee, why is it you're saying that Museveni is not the one doing these things?
No.
He's not doing the same on his opponents.
They captured, because these are insiders. They captured. Why are loyalists, Museveni loyalists like me, why are we attacked? This younger man thought that you will never become president of Uganda over our dead bodies. Never. Nobody should deceive you. Even in the monarchies, I have not come across a monarch where the son-in-law, what I can
succeeds the father-in-law.
What I can sympathize with the Museveni in Africa, when the leader's family expands, you cannot hold the power.
Especially in but mistakes don't deserve sympathy, indeed, because there are certain mistakes like killing people.
Look at Saddam Hussein. The moment the family expanded, look at Museveni. The family has expanded. 35 years. It means he has now Bazukulu. Bazukulu, the only thing they know, they are not investing in real estate. They are wasting to steal from government projects.
They are used to being given.
So, Bobiwine is facing harassment from an intimidated mafia gang that earlier believed
that he can control him.
They could control him. Now they are realizing, and Museveni has realized the threat originates from his palace. I can tell you. 4 ministers are under house arrest.
Are you serious?
Their accounts have been frozen. About 20 people or more than others on the run have been interrogated by JAT. JAT is a joint intelligence unit composed of police, military police, and the military intelligence.
But earlier on, you told us they are not credible. All those intelligence organizations are not credible.
This is JAT. JAT deals with terrorism. And what you are going to see, a number of prison suspects being released because the judges were installed there. And the international community will say, you see, human rights. No, these are the people who have stolen our billions.
I see.
Yes, the judges are theirs. The High Court's office is theirs. We have an anti-corruption code. No, it is a kangaroo code. That man should, the man who is in charge of the anti-corruption code should be denied a visa to Europe and America.
Are you serious?
Let him die here. Let him take his rules. It is a kangaroo code. Anybody, if they want you to remove you from your job, they choose you of corruption. Use the new vision and the bucket day and
to malice people.
Newspapers where Uganda one day we shall see an execution of editors. No, you don't know Bama Sasibona. No, you don't know.
They have been allegations.
Newspapers are not newspapers. These are mafia managed newspapers because of their levels. The level of circulation, they don't have huge capital levels. That's why the newspaper articles are paid for. They can prostitutes, they are paid to have sex.
Mzee, as a professional analyst, there are rumors around the public that these kinds of deaths that are happening these days are not very normal.
Me, I cannot rule out. Why? Because you tell me an incident where Muzaata dies on the same date and Kalisa. It means it is a 1 month poison. It is a slow poison.
Are you serious?
Takes. Yes. And you will see others. My children are scared. Are you safe? Because most of the people who are firebrands are like you, have died. Kasiri Gwanga, Kalisa, Muzaata, and you see. Do you know how the Muslim clerics were killed? And Bokede gave insulated that. He said, Kamoga has been elected chief of the Tabliks. Why? why was Bokedde preparing us that in case this man dies, there is another fire brand. One day, the edit of Bokedde will be arrested in the new vision.
Can you imagine, Mzee, all the people you mentioned have died in the period of just 6 months. 6 months.
A wealth of evidence against these murders, against they are being used by the mafias. I pray to God. Let them live longer so that one day they will be grabbed like a grasshopper and face the law. They are conduits. They are conduits. Book at the newspaper
to something very, very awkward.
Of the mafia gang. When you read their stories the other day, they were attacking the Minister Sempija. That Minister Sempija did not take Frisians. It is a mark of Goizita. New Vision was attacking Sempija. When one of their managers had stolen a tractor and a excavator, brand new one, he drove it at night and returned it to immediately.
Are you serious?
We have a wealth of evidence against Vision and the editors. One day. Miayi pray mbasabira katonda muviri umuvangale one day you'll be grabbed. You have a wealth of information about this incident. You are not incident.
Can you imagine Mzee? I don't know.
New Vision. These are not journalists.
Is there?
They are conduits. They are conspirators. They know what is happening. When you see Bokedde spent a whole week publishing negative articles about this man. And shamelessly, the Bokedde editor will send reporters, send them to me. I grab one because they are not journalists. You are agents of the mafia. If I grab a reporter from Bokedde
or NBS
or top TV. If we want to get, if NBS wants to get access to this money, a project that I'm running, I suggest the Kuriso Bole. You go to Kuriso Bole and get the money. I suggested the Kuriso Bole is somebody who can talk to NBS, who can talk to other TV stations where I don't go. But for me, I don't mind about these TV stations and newspapers. When
you have cultivated the following.
When the social media statistics show, demonstrate that are more popular than them combined.
Of course.
Yes. No. So how can I hire a car when I have a faster car at my home?
I see.
Why should I go to these media institutions when I know that their saturation levels, their listenership is lower than what I have?
Of course.
Yes.
Now I want to understand, Mzee, who is responsible for these 1 month's kind of poisons? Probably you may have a glimpse. You may have a glimpse. Someone dies of 1 month, another one dies after 1 month.
Why?
And you're predicting more are coming.
You see, Ugandans are not smart guys. You look at the audience that was given to Bobiwine at the prayer.
At the prayers from Muzaata.
At Chibuli. The Chibuli faction, it seems, the Chibuli faction, when you see the Chibuli faction supporting somebody, you know that the Chibuli faction is respected by donor countries, Arab countries, like Saudi Arabia, like Kuwait, countries that have money. You see what the president did. This young man, the Kakunguru hair, Mboga Kakunguru, worked with the government in the Bank of Uganda, was humiliated. He moved to Tropical Bank, was humiliated. That is the anger. I was at one time a close friend of his. He told me it's a problem that if Museveni recognize our family, what if Museveni allocates, if you have 200 other DCs, allocate 5 to me, so that I also identify Muslims and tell them I have appointed. How can you expect Mbuga to control his community
when you give him nothing? Yes, no, the
Kabaka is selfish. What Maker doesn't know and what Museveni doesn't know. that if you give the Kabaka ministers vehicles and they don't use them for economic mobilization, what impact do they have on an ordinary Muganda?
I see.
What do I benefit? Is it a wedding that the chairman of the wedding knows that you never have sex with the Mugore? Is it a wedding? If you give Kabaka the easy minister, the corrupt minister, what terrorizing Baganda? You say the agreement in returning the 9 square miles of land which belongs to us, Baganda. Does Museveni believe that by pampering the Kabaka we will get our votes? We are more popular than the Kabaka's minister.
Are you serious?
Yes. As long as what Museveni gives to the Baganda, if Museveni constructs a modern market in a rural area and provides a role for these people and a processing factory where they can grow their crops, perishable crops, are stored and processed and they get money, it's better than pampering the Kabaka. What do we get from the Kabaka? And the Kabaka says,
he's the traditional leader.
The Kabaka says, don't expect anything from me. I don't levy taxes. So the money you give to the Kabaka, to pamper the Kabaka, is like African leaders. They pamper generals. But if you pamper generals, the sergeants don't come.
Of course.
The capital situations come. People of lower ranks come. And you pamper the generals. So it is better to have a policy of welfare which benefits all of the soldiers.
Of course. So today Muzei marks almost just 1 month. Could there be a special message to the Muslims because Abasilamu banyigirizidwa nnyo?
I don't involve myself in religious issues. But I was a close friend of Muzaata. We shared many things in common. Muzaata was vibrant, but at times, like any person, any human person would win. He attacked the city council, but when the city council gave his wife a job, he relaxed. Because for me, I say, what is my mission? My mission is to ensure a peaceful Uganda. I cannot accept a person who has stolen 650 billion from education that would benefit our children to be president.
Of course.
You will see, if we allow such a man to become a president, then let us do it. No. Museveni has been let down by his own people, close relatives. You see where he has been addressing people, meeting people. Everywhere, they are not talking about failure by government, but the money intended for the purpose was stolen.
Yes.
Bobiwine was in Bududa. Where is the Prime Minister's office to explain the billions allocated to
allocating people? I mean,
yes,
moving people to relocating people.
But they cannot come. I saw Mbadi. They was watching Mbayo that the money which was going to be paid to Basoga, who defeated the Koni, I think 20 years ago, has not been delivered.
Can you imagine?
But Museveni delivered the money. She said the mafia had stolen it. Why are you telling Museveni now? You were minister in charge of the presidency. So everywhere, Museveni talked about sugar cane. I've been talking about sugar cane. When he goes to Bunyoro, he will be confronted.
No, you were the first person I heard saying that the prices of sugar cane is the main issue in Busoga.
And to what is important, you don't, if Museveni is going to win this election.
Are you serious?
The first indicator is that you don't see an exodus of leaders from NRM to other political parties. In fact, I have not witnessed a stalwart in NRM losing to people power, in spite of the pressures and what. What does it mean? They have a future in Museveni. They know Museveni will win. Two, whenever Museveni goes to an area, all of the leaders, the important leaders attend his meetings. And in Busoga,
some people claim they expect money from him.
But
he's used to giving them money.
They raise issues for the future. If your girlfriend tells you, let us construct a house, let us have a stable job, let us even buy This has constructed a house where she accommodates children, a children's room. It means she has a future with you.
Of course.
She's even talking about children when she's not pregnant. So when you see people raising issues to the president that will be handled in the future, is an indication that Museveni is still around. And I can predict it. When those who have been powering tear gas, those who are trying to
harass the opposition,
going to give way to Mukunde, those who have been trying to assassinate Bobiwine, Museveni has arrested them. They're on the run.
I see.
You wait. If the rallies are peaceful, and Bobiwine's rallies are no longer targeted and powered with
tear gas.
Within 2 weeks, the next 2 weeks, everything is going to stabilize. You will not see people attending Bobiwine's rallies.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you.
That's a prediction you can never see come.
Let me tell you.
That cannot happen.
No. Bobiwine is helping Museveni. Everywhere you see people complaining, coming up in large numbers, they have a problem. Let Museveni step out a team to go and find out. For instance, Bobiwine was in the CPA. And marathon runners come from Museveni. Museveni has allocated the money to construct a Bissau in those areas. The Ministry of Education has a specific minister for sports. Money was allocated. Money was allocated.
And where is it?
It was stolen. When you go to the West Nile, Akaabye National Stadium, the president, Akaabye, the local leaders told the president, the ministry, gave it to us, the local leaders, and the money was stolen. So once I see that they are not saying that Museveni did not deliver, it becomes very easy. Let Museveni direct the prime minister to go to Duda,
of course,
and explain the billions and the progress. They have been buying Iran.
Explanation without returning the money. What is this importance?
You don't blame Museveni.
Of course.
Museveni should move with the side D. A competent CID like me. Anybody they mention the corruption, I put you inside. He should change the corruption code. It's not the anti. We should get the real anti-corruption code. Put there a serious judge. Take the corrupt to the court martial.
I see.
If you can just charge a man like Kitata in the court martial, who has not committed the murder? What about those who have stolen the money from the public? Let us make a law. Court martial. Let those who have stolen the public money be court martialed. I'm telling you.
I understand President Museveni admits one of his greatest undoing is corruption.
In fact, if we wanted the Americans and the Europeans to be on your side, back on corruption, not corruption crusade, even if you shoot them. Yes, but the problem with the Museveni, I gig in Nakalema is completely useless. It sticks more than what I have collected 20 billion for. What's the cost? How much money have you used to collect the billion? You force a rabbit.
What was your facilitation when you're going to collect the 20 billion?
A cat, a kappa, to vomit what it has eaten. When the elephant, which has swallowed the whole cow, has not vomited. Nakalema is part of the mafia gang. Nakalema is part of the mafia gang. I can produce evidence. He's directed by the mafia gang to target certain people in the government, interdict them, and whoever is interdicted gets publicity from New Vision and book a day, book a day, and book at the publishers Nakalema's activities, which are artificial and useless. Book a day, New Vision Group. I am seeking an injunction because my children told me that the rate at which your comrades are dying, we are fearing. I said, no, like now I'm going to, my son is getting married. The other daughter, when I was younger, a year ago, I did not attend my daughter's wedding. But today, because I fell sick, I was poisoned on the 17th December last year. And my daughter, I think, got married on the 19th. Which I did not attend.
You have survived
now I'm going to attend
life-threatening
my son's wedding. So my children are concerned. They are saying, Daddy, all your comrades are dying. What about that? I'm going to tell my children are lawyers whether it is possible to seek a permanent injunction against the New Vision group. Even if I die, they don't about my death. They will never benefit from my death. To tell them how much I hate them. You cannot subject me to a 6 month malicious attack and we meet again. I've been telling these people, we can meet in a mass grave, we can meet in a prison cell, we can meet on a flight which I cannot go, but we shall not meet again. On earth, in the grave, and in heaven. That's
how do you know what will happen in heaven?
No.
How are you supposed
how do you know? You cannot discredit me because in the future, whenever politics at a mature level becomes katemba drama, what if in the future there is a good government? Because I will never work with this government again. What if in the future, in any future government, somebody appoints me, a minister, proposes me, and during the vetting process, somebody comes with the newspapers, only newspapers, Mr. Mirundi, at one time, he was described a newspaper article, a government newspaper at that time called A New Vision, alleged that you were mad, you were insane. Have you been created by Mutabika Hospital? That permanent injury. And you think you can meet with Kabusenga at a party? I can meet Kurubi at a wedding party? I can enter a lift with the Kurubi and Kabusenga and the lift fails to vomit a corpse? You were joking. Even Jesus said, forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. This book, the New Vision group, malicious people knowing and read paper. Our newspapers malicious people knowing the impact.
They are paid up.
So they cannot benefit from the Jesus' verdict. The others didn't know what they are doing and they helped him to resurrect. Because if Jesus did not die, we wouldn't be talking about resurrection. So they helped him. This is why they said, in fact, they were facilitators. They facilitated what we are celebrating as Jesus' resurrection. But these people who fight you to kill your political career, and they think at one time we can reconcile, that we can reconcile with the Kabushenga, who has, in fact, have written a book, Casualties of Kabushenga and Kurubia. The casualties, the people he has written about. Kabushenga carried an editorial when Engineer Byandala was arrested and charged with stealing Katose funds. Court found him later innocent. But New Vision had carried an editorial. Arrest Byandala. Arrest one day. Editorial. Murijirira mukato. One day you will be grabbed. It pains me as a journalist. A highly trained journalist, a person who was a spokesperson of the president in this country. There will never be a spokesperson of the president. Because I created that title alone and I went with it. Have you heard anybody calling himself?
They're just presidential press secretary.
It pains me to curse my fellow journalists. These are not journalists. Kabushenga has never trained in any media institution. Even this editor, Kurubia, is a mediocre, has never trained in any media institution. These are agents of the mafia who are using their newspapers to malign people.
I see.
They are like a python. The python is there. The mafia gang is a python. But this one smear us to make it easy to be solved by the python.
I see.
So this is what I'm telling you. I'm going to publish a book about the role of the military and the police because nobody has told Bobiwine not to address rallies. This is not true. But the police is telling you, follow the law, because the police was not in parliament.
But Mzee, how is following the law relating to shooting
where
people?
Bobiwine has followed the law,
shooting at people.
There's no tear gas. When the police tells you, use this channel. In fact, in many cases, the police is helping Bobiwine. Why? Bobiwine is known in the towns. His posters are many in towns. But in order to avoid the towns where large crowds would intervene him, they even use village routes.
But Mzee, we have seen police blocking him and wasting his time. They are still doing the same thing you're saying they are blocking him.
They end up publicizing Bobiwine.
Of course.
The police is helping Bobiwine. But in my opinion, what I want to tell the public, Bobiwine is targeted by by mafias. At one time he dined with the mafias. When you go against the mafias, the mafia gangaroos, they terminate.
You see, wouldn't these words reflect in your boss's speeches? Wherever Museveni comes up to speak, he says, I will discipline that boy. He's not above the law. He has made something personal. He's turning the war personal.
Museveni cannot say that my family members are fighting me. In the process, Museveni is telling Bobiwine, even if you are being used by my colonel, I will handle you. Yes. Have you seen Bobiwine? Museveni telling Bobiwine, detaining him not to campaign.
Of course he tried, but it backfired. No.
You cannot.
He was taken to Narufenya.
Do you believe that these people will organize another riot again? When many of their members have been arrested, it's only because we have a corrupt police. Most of these people, the so-called hooligans, who's taking this riot, banning car tires, where did these people, these youth, get new tires to ban them? No. These are big people in the government. I also have heard that certain weapons have disappeared from barracks. Yes. Who are they?
We had they were hidden somewhere.
Is Bobiwine in charge of
the Amari?
The Amari? No. Yes. So Bobiwine is a victim. He's just a victim. Bobiwine should disengage from these people. And the international committee must understand this. They know. Bobiwine started with Amsterdam. Amsterdam can tell the side A, the real truth. Who identified Bobiwine? Because Amsterdam knows who identified what. Amsterdam can confirm what I'm saying. That Bobiwine had been identified by the mafia gang. Anybody you see abusing Bobiwine, doubting his leadership capabilities, is part of the mafia gang. Why? A dog was not brought to bite people because the woman brought the people to play games. But the dog has developed teeth, unfortunately, and is terrorizing
the owners.
Omukazi yaleta embwa ng'agamba bba nti waliwo abayingira wano. Kumbe the intruders are her lovers. Kakati Bobiwine, they believed was a toothless dog. Now that he can bite. The problem of the teeth, it must be eliminated. But the problem is that people believe, our people believe that Museveni is the one. I'm telling you, I can repeat it 100 times. I can stake my hand. I can stake my hand.
Your neck.
Museveni does not believe in political assassinations. Even Kaira was killed by Rwandese officers. Yes, because they were panicking. Kaira was attacking the Rwandese. Let them go back home. Let them do this. That's the reason.
I want Mzee to end with this. You and Sheikh Muzaata used to frequent bailing people in courts. Where did you guys get the spirit of being there, bailing people out?
We knew.
Because he was ever in court bailing out people.
We know that some cases, like in the case of Sebufu, he not committing murder. He want to take his words. And you know, who killed the woman? He wants Sebufu. But look at the publicized all of his words to be stolen. Look at that. And the New Vision, that couple, New Vision, look at exports the wealth of Mbuga. And when in Sweden, the evidence against Mbuga was a translation from Bucket.
The evidence they brought to court against Mbuga was a direct translation from an article in Bucket.
Why do you allow your head to be a dustbin? We shall not accept.
What should he do? Should he resign or what?
I left the government, I'm doing my own things. Later is a Tugam, mobile in the bank net. even being used as a dustbin is a crime. Why do you be? Why? That's why I call them kanagis. They smear their nuggets on everybody.
I see.
To stink.
I see.
They make sure that they smear you with the saliva to be swallowed by a python.
I see.
That's the role of the vision group. Yes.
Nkutegedde mzee. Sincerely mbalabye mubayereddewo abantu bonna mugenda mu makooti mugenda mugundi.
My worry is that our team is losing members at an alarming rate.
Of course.
And if this is not Muslims who must be buried, if I die, I have left a directive in my will. There must be experts if I die to carry out a postmortem, not by Ugandan doctors. Ugandan doctors will never come across my body, will never touch my body. We shall get my children, get experts from Europe to examine me. Because if you have elephantiasis, it does not mean that you cannot contract gonorrhea.
Of course.
It does not mean that another disease cannot you cannot inflict it. The talk of COVID-19, no.
That Mirundi has died, it is COVID-19.
Very good proverb that a leopard can take advantage of darkness to move at night, where it is not detected.
I see.
Having a COVID-19 does not mean that when you have COVID-19, you cannot die from poison. Even if you have HIV, does it mean that you cannot die from poison?